What made you want to come on board Chemical Hearts?
Immediately reading it, I like the story. Also, the characters are both like very deep. And then you.
Me?
There you go.
Thank you.
What made you want to executive produce on Chemical Hearts?
I was initially attracted to the idea that these two characters were just different from what you normally see portrayed in young love. I don't like young teenager movies. I never really have. I don't find them entirely interesting because I don't find them real or relatable. You know, having a story that's more grounded and portraying young love with the pain that it entails, it was just felt real to me. And that's a story that I want to tell. And I've always wanted to be kind of more involved than just an actor. I've always wanted to be involved from start to finish, have my hand in the casting process, seeing the different cuts and having my opinion matter. And so to be sure. And actually have that, I was like, wow, this is truly a dream come true.
Your character Grace, you turned down, like a coveted job, at least in Henry's mind, as like editor at the newspaper. I don't know, was that important to have her kind of off the bat, like, I guess, go against the grain and like turn down that job?
Yeah. I think, and again, it's kind of like all these a lot of teenage movies are like, oh, you get the job that you wanted, or you get the opportunity you've been waiting for. And we find out that it means a lot to Henry, and you find out that Grace was a writer as well. But I think she's also old enough and mature enough emotionally to know that she's not in the space to handle that. And so I think it says a lot about who she is, where when she's offered something that she normally probably would have been thrilled to do, she's like, no, I can't handle that right now. And she's not willing to put more stress on her shoulders, which I think is, kind of a difficult decision to make when you're a teenager, to know when to say no, when to stop. I know even as an adult, I've had to learn how to be like, nope, can't do this. Too many plates thing already. And so I think she knows who she is, and she knows the spot that she's at emotionally, that she can't handle it. It just is kind of a testament to her character that she's got a lot going on inside, and she knows that, and she's not about to make her life even more hectic by adding responsibility to it. Then Henry becomes her responsibility.
Oh, jeez.
Come on.
So, Lily, first thing that's said in the movie is you're never more alive than when you're a teenager. Do you agree with that?
I don't know if I do. I think maybe in a chemical reaction kind of way, it's true in the sense that your brain is experiencing things for the first time. Like you're experiencing your first love, your first heartache. And so in that sense, you're truly feeling these things for the first time. But I don't know if I agree if that's the case for everyone. I think right now in my life, I'm the most alive I've ever been, and feel the most connected to myself that I've ever been.
I don't know. Yeah, it's like, I don't know if I'd agree with saying like you're more alive. I would just say things are more raw, and then you have to get older. As you get older, I think you naturally, hopefully, learn about yourself more, and then learn how to like deal with those feelings a bit more, just how you think, everything like that. But yeah, so I don't know if I would say like necessarily alive. I would just possibly say like a bit more raw, I guess.
I think new, like everything's
new. That's a good word too. Raw sounds a little weird.
Yeah. No, it's a good word. It's true. Yeah. So for the gang in Chemical Hearts producing the issues of the newspaper, it's said that having a platform is useless unless you have something to say. And you're someone who doesn't have social media. You don't even have social media, which is the opposite of me. How do you look at social media? Like, do you think it's a bunch of people posting useless things, or do you think that you would be able to find your own voice where you would be talking about the important things? Or like, how do you view people who have a platform and what they do with it?
Yeah, no, I think it's definitely a mixture. I mean, I'm sure that there's people that, I don't know, maybe don't have something useful to say, but I think there's people that do have incredibly useful things to say, and are able to shine a light on something that maybe isn't talked about. I think it's like, in a lot of ways, advanced us as a society in a really great way. If I would have one, what I would say, I mean, I don't know, that's something I would need to think about. Like, at least for me personally, feels like to be a bit of a tricky question. Because obviously, like, I do want to help as much as possible. But in terms of like revealing so much about my life, like, I'm not really sure like how comfortable I am about that.
Yeah.
But obviously, like, I am interested in like helping people and things like that. What about you? I mean, you do wonderful things. You seem to have meaning to, you know, a lot of what you say and what you do on there, which, you know, I think is great.
To me, that's the point. Like, if I'm going to have an audience of X amount of people, I want to at least be saying something important, or at least have something that people can take away from what I'm saying. You know, I think there's a lot of mindless content out there, and I don't want to be one of those people who just kind of adds to that. I would rather have something to say that people can take away from, I guess.
Yeah.
That's it about that.
Yeah, no, that's awesome.